Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Wednesday, May 27th. We're testing out a new format, a little different from the previous new formats. If you have a strong suggestion or a comment, either positive or negative, please leave it in the comments section. You'll have to be logged into Google to leave it in the YouTube comments section. You have to open up the briefing fully in YouTube from our website, but we do appreciate comments. Thanks. And overall, gusty winds, dry conditions continue across eastern Utah and into parts of eastern Utah and even parts of Nevada lingering for the next 2 days. It will become warmer and drier next week. It's a complicated fuel scenario. We had some recent precipitation, but in many areas that is fading in the east, and they'll stay breezy and dry and warm up and should rise up into the 80th to 90th percentiles. Eastern areas will be getting I should say western areas in Nevada and up in the north in Idaho, they'll be getting more precipitation, and those fuels will be doing the opposite. They'll be moistening up over the next several days, but everyone should see a big warming trend early next week. Impact map for today, most critical areas in the east. We have strong gusty winds, 30 to 45 miles per hour, low humidity, and then very moist conditions with an upper low over the Tahoe area with fairly steady widespread rains. I should say that there'll be an intermediate zone where there'll be some gusty winds also up to 40, 45 miles an hour. Humidity a tad higher, mid-teens to mid-20, 25% range. Right along the Utah-Nevada border today and tomorrow. And finally, that moisture does shift further eastwards, and the dry, windy condition does shrink down to our far southeastern areas late in the period. Quite a bit of lightning across many areas. This is a little disconcerting in eastern Utah because they'll be drying out the next 2 days or even 3 days with gusty winds, so holdover is a possibility. Most of the lightning up here was on the wetter side. You can see the precipitation here, some good amounts here, over 3/4 of an inch in some of the greener areas. 7-day precip totals, not including the last 24 hours. Some good wetness up in western Wyoming. Otherwise, scant precipitation elsewhere. Another active day with new fire starts in the red, recent fires in the yellow, open circles indicating large fires. There were numerous of them the last couple of days. We see on the flash drought index significant signals of drought in southern central areas, even creeping up a little bit further north towards Idaho. On the finer fuel side, again, a little bit more complicated. There was some moistening in the last 48 hours with some of those showers. They had some low-end wetting rains, so briefly moistened. But again, 10-hour fuels do take 10 hours to respond, so a lot of this will be drying out later today and especially tomorrow. On the flip side, some of these drier values on the 10-hour fuels will be moistening up from west to east over the next couple of days. Look at some fuels up in northern Ely section. If we look to see where conditions currently are, they're right up at the 80th percentile, and the green line is the 7-day forecast. It is forecast to drop a little bit below the 80th and then right back up to the 85th percentile with drier air late this week and into early next week. On the Arizona Strip side, they are already in the 85th percentile, and they will see a gradual rise into the 93, 94th percentile through the weekend into early next week. So definitely drier the further southeast you go. This is a new format with a larger upper air map, low pressure right over the Tahoe Basin, lots of moisture. We see the green and even the black areas, but that dry wedge of air across eastern Utah with these strong upper level winds is our primary area of concern. You'll see it again tomorrow. See the moisture lingering with widespread showers and thunderstorms across much of western central Nevada, pushing up into Idaho, and the low finally tracks further eastwards on Friday. The showers will be weakening, but they'll become more widespread across some eastern areas as well. But the far south could still see some dry, breezy conditions, but that'll start to wane. Our high risk today for our southern areas in particular, we have that concern for strong winds over dry fuels and low humidity. And where we have some marginal conditions, either humidity just a little bit above 15% or fuels not quite critical yet, we have highlighted that in a moderate brown risk. So that's for some of the wind conditions as well, but not as heightened of a risk for today. For Thursday and then Friday, we just have that moderate risk as that wind area shrinks. You see a little bit more moistening across many more areas. Look at a deeper dive into the stronger winds. These purple areas up here, we have winds of close to 50 miles an hour in some areas. You see the humidity near 10% in the far southeast, and getting into the mid to upper teens as you head further towards the Nevada border, and then definitely moistening up further westwards from that. Now on Thursday, those winds still quite strong. And you see some strong winds here up here in Nevada. We see the humidity is 16, 18%, even 32%. So some of these eastern Nevada humidities may not quite be there. Same story in Idaho, but we have that large fire just north of the Utah-Nevada tri-state border there. Humidity there is still 14%, so still a concern up there. But you see the humidity does definitely increase. The moisture spreads further eastwards on Friday. Still some gusty winds, but that'll be in the far southeast where the humidity lines up. Precipitation next 3 days, a fair amount of it across western areas today, tomorrow, and it starts to slide eastwards on Sunday, some moderate amounts of a quarter inch each day. Now, the upper air pattern for the Saturday, this low, finally moves out. We get kind of a zonal flow, a weak disturbance here. But then we do see high pressure starting to develop off the Southern California coast. A weak low moves into Idaho on Sunday, maybe some more isolated showers, still some cool, more moist conditions. That low starts lifting northwards on Monday, then Tuesday. High pressure starts building in. We start building in the heat. Temperatures getting above 10 degrees above normal in a lot of areas. So a 7-day outlook as we go through the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Definitely noticing a drying trend. Drying will be much slower in Nevada where they had several days of precipitation. Winds start really slackening off. You see the humidity starting to dry out in southern and even central sections by early next week. Precipitation, there could be some additional precipitation with that low Saturday into Sunday up in Idaho. Then we start drying out Monday. And this is the 7-day outlook in a nutshell. Some high risk in the orange and even moderate risk for some of those winds and dry conditions in the brown. That threat diminishes on Friday into the weekend. And then we see a general drying trend with our fire potential and fuels, especially as we get into early next week. Outlook for the 6 to 10 day, much above normal temperatures. And also a below normal precipitation trend starting to show up a little bit across many areas. Otherwise normal. Normal for early June is not much precipitation at all. Again, drop a comment in the YouTube comment section. You have to be logged into Google to do that. Let us know what you think. Have a great one.